Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. If you are new around here, subscribe to the channel, drop the video a like and get involved in the comment section down below. So this is one of our new concepts to the channel, the player rating episodes. So we want you guys to go ahead, head over to our website and drop your player ratings for Leeds United v Aston Villa. So let's head over to our website then and then we can do this together. And then if you want to share yours on social media, you can do as well. So go under Social Hub and player ratings. Like a frustrating one, wasn't it? We created numerous amounts of chances. We the post with Coutinho. Watkins got into some key areas, just for his decision making. Final chances, he drilled a few at the keeper. Their keeper was having an absolute mare. And it's just a frustrating one because the points were there, weren't they? The win was there. We just needed to stick the ball in the back of the net. We created numerous chances. I'll be interested to see what your opinions are on the player ratings, whether you agree with mine, put them in the comment section down below, or go ahead over to our website then. So we'll start off with Emi Martinez. I think he didn't have a lot to do, did he? He hardly had anything to do. It was like a couple of catches, wasn't it? But it was about him distributing the ball quickly to the right players, which I think he did. He did that. So I think Martinez, it's pretty an easy rating. I'd give him 6 or 7 or an 8. So I'd go with an 8. The average of what people have done as well are going to be on the side here as well. So Ashley Young, again, rolling back the years, he had another really good game. He was really solid. He was getting into some attacking areas as well. And I just think he's just Mr. Reliable for Aston Villa. Ever since he came into the side against Manchester City, he's done really well. And I would give him another solid rating. I'd give Ashley Young an 8. Konsa had to go to right back, didn't he? I thought he did okay. In the sense of that's not his preferred position. I think he has played there in the past. I think he did okay. I think at times he was left wanting with the ball, but I just think that's just the nature of where he was. He's not played that role for a very long time, and his passing at times was a little bit loose. But I think all in all, he did okay. I'd give Konsa a 7 for today's game. Augustinson did okay. He got booked early, didn't he? And I thought he was going to be in for a long one against Sinisterra and Harrison, but I think he grew into the game. He looked assured. He looked solid. I think he got forward a few times, but he just didn't really have that quality, did he? But again, I think he did well. It was a solid game from him when he was on the pitch. I'd give him a 6. Tyrone Mings, class. Absolutely class. He was solid. Never put a foot wrong, did he? Again, I thought it was a real strong, solid performance. We know that Ellen Road crowd, that they just chant that song all day long, don't they? Which is really annoying. But again, he came through really well. A clean sheet. We've got to be grateful of any clean sheet. So I think Mings, again, solid. I'd give him an 8. Douglas Louise didn't really put a foot wrong either, did he? I thought he moved the ball quite well. He got some key interceptions, especially when it was 11v11. I think he had a pretty solid game. I'd give him a 7. John Mcginn, I'd say one of his better games for Aston Villa this season, coming off the back of some big international games with Scotland. That last-ditch challenge, which heart in mouth towards the end, but I'd give him an 8. I thought that last-ditch challenge secured the point, didn't it, for us? He needed to be there. He needed to make that challenge. He drove with the ball really well. I thought his passing was better this game. He got stuck in a lot as well, which I liked. So I thought Mcginn had a real good, solid performance. Ramsay, okay, fluttered through the game, didn't he? I remember him driving a couple of times. I thought he had an okay game. Probably wanted to see a little bit more from him in that game. I'd give Ramsay a 6. Coutinho, we said in the preview that he was simmering. I'd say he was starting to bubble at times. I think he looked really dangerous at times in that game. He had that shot that hit the post. He was doing his little shimmies again. I think he got in some key areas. He made some real good passes. At times, I just wish he would just come a little bit deeper sometimes when we're out of possession and just help out a little bit more. I think when they were sort of getting those overloads and splitting with the three centre-backs and pushing their full-backs further forward, I think at times in the first half, we was a little bit isolated. We was losing the grip of the game in the first 20, 25, but we grew into it. I thought he had a solid game. Deserves to keep his place in the side, in my opinion. I'd give him a 7. Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey. There was 2 times, especially in that game, when he sort of did the best part of what he could do. He sort of done his man, and then I just wanted him to drive. I wanted him to drive down the line, but he would cut back into sort of like traffic, into like a 2-on-1 sort of thing when they were trying to double up on him and he lost the ball. And I'd just like to see him just drive with the ball a little bit more. He had one opportunity in the first half, which I think he probably should have done a little bit better with. Should have worked the keeper a little bit more. But yeah, I thought I agreed that he should have probably came off. I just didn't think he was offering enough in that game. I think against Southampton, he didn't really offer too much either, and he got took off in that game, didn't he? So I think it's just classic winger, isn't it? You know, a moment of brilliance in one game, and then a couple of games where he just flatters to deceive. But for me, I think I'd like to see him with Wendy and now come in for Leon Bailey in the next game. I'm going to give Bailey a 6. Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins. Right. What are we going to go with Ollie Watkins? For all his positive traits, which you don't need me to tell you his positive traits, he's running, dragging defenders, hold-up plays improved slightly this season. I'd say he gets in the right areas, he gets in the right positions, but it's everything else, which is, for me, the frustrating part. And we know he had a finishing coach, and it's just not working out, is it? It's just not reliable. When we get in those areas, you just don't back him to score, which is a problem. Which is a problem for a striker in the Premier League. I really like Ollie Watkins. I just really want him to do really, really well, but you just can't keep giving him that many chances game after game and not putting them away, because it's costing points. It's, we need a clinical, composed player. And I remember on this channel that I've said it before about Watkins. Watkins up front reminds me of an inconsistent winger, which is what he used to be. When he gets in those right areas and you want him to finish, you want him to drill it, it's as if you're getting like an inconsistent winger that's just, some games he'll do well, some games he won't. And, he had numerous chances to work the keeper, numerous decision-making ones. I remember in the second half when he made the run, didn't he? And he just had to drag it back to someone, and it was just, he didn't find the right player. And I just think in this league, without that lack of quality, without that bit of spark, without that bit of just, you know what I'm trying to say, Villa fans, without that, just that little bit of magic at times, it's really, really frustrating that he gets in the right areas and he just doesn't finish. And is it a confidence thing? Does he just lack belief in those moments? Does he just lack quality in those areas? Is it just a lack of quality from him? I think that's what it is. I mean, I watched before the Villa game, I watched City and I watched Haaland, and I mean, he gets a sniff and he's lethal. He's lethal. The lethal aggression on his finishing. It's like he wants to just bully every defender. And in that moment, Haaland is just, I'm not comparing Haaland and Watkins, by the way, but, it's just that lack of being clinical, which is a massive, massive problem. And, I said it in pre-season that he needs confidence. He needs a run of games. He needed to score against Bournemouth to sort of set him off. And, so for me, it feels like he's always scratching for a bit of form. He's scratching for a bit of confidence. And, against Leeds, the amount of chances we had, we should have scored. We should have won the game. And it's really frustrating that we didn't. So Watkins, for me, I'm going to give him a I'm going to give him I'm going to give him a 6 because, you know, the amount of times that Villa fans would slate Tyrone Mings when he made mistakes. And I think you kind of got to do it when a striker gets in a goal scoring position. If you can't score, then I'm sorry, you know, your rating needs to be a little bit lower. Bednarat did okay. When he came on, looked pretty solid. He lost that one battle against Bamford, didn't he? So I'd give him a 6. Buendia looked really lively when he came on. Again, you know, same old story every time he comes on. I'm going to give him a 7. We didn't really see much of Danny Ings either, did we? So I'll give him a 5. We'll submit our score. So average ratings are sort of from the Villa fans on the right-hand side. So pretty similar to what I've put, really. I gave Augustinson a 6. He's had a 5.5. Mings, 8, 7. Yeah, so what have Villa fans? Villa fans have gave Watkins a 7. So I'll be interested to see what you guys think of that rating. So there we have it, our player ratings episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. And we'll be back on Monday for a little bit more of an in-depth look on that game as well. So Villa fans, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to vote for us in the Football Content Awards. And subscribe to the channel and drop your comments in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and up the Villa.